Mount Washington, the biggest little mountain in the world.
The climb to the clouds was an auto race up a mountain. The mountain was New Hampshire's Mount Washington.
So Mount Washington to me is a special place because it is such a historic place. They held the first race there in 1904, so it's the oldest hill climb around. They were racing a car against a horse and buggy. That's how early this hill climb came on.
The gala opening of the road took place on August 1st, 1861, making the carriage road the oldest man-made tourist attraction in America.
The biggest tests that we as a manufacturer could throw at our Sierra platform is Pikes Peak and now Mount Washington. I mean, these are literally the most demanding racing environments that any car could be in.
The inaugural climb to the clouds was held July 11th and 12th, 1904. 7 years before the first 500-mile race at Indianapolis, and 12 years before the inaugural Pikes Peak Hill Climb in Colorado.
When I call it a tarmac rally stage, I truly believe that it's one of the most difficult tarmac rally stages if you compare it with some of the best stages in the world.
With its average 12% grade, auto manufacturers believed that the carriage road would be the perfect proving ground to demonstrate the ability of their horseless carriages.
The first time that I ever heard about Mount Washington was a couple years ago when David Higgins broke the record for Subaru. Not being that familiar with Mount Washington, we watched some in-car video from Travis Pastrana when he broke the record, and it was like, holy cow, like, this is like the craziest road I've ever seen.
And I seen the video first time and it scared me. Like, I was thinking, what are we doing sending Cole up this mountain? Like, there's a lot of other races that are closer and different things that he could do and not this.
We went there with the sole purpose of being the fastest two-wheel drive car. First practice was on the upper section. They split the mountain into halves. All of the competitors just run upper half. And we weren't quite prepared to do that. And I expected to have some crew and some tires, some tools, some basic stuff like that. Nothing. They send you up there, you start at the halfway point, and you get whatever you brought up as a driver. There's no crew, there's no extra help allowed. So
we just sat at the bottom and waited to hear what happened. It was kind of crazy to not know and not know if he's okay, not know what his times are, not know anything. And with us having nothing to do but just sit out and hang out underneath the shade.
It was kind of trial by fire, and that was the first time I'd gotten to drive the course at any sort of speed. It was mind-bending to go through that upper section with the sheer cliff exposure. And the rocks. There's rocks in the asphalt next to the road. If you clip a rock, it tears a corner off, you're off the cliff. There was definitely some red flag moments on that upper section that first day of practice. I'll never forget Pastrana telling me the first time I got to the top with him. I said, yeah, I was airborne 3 times on the course. He's like, yeah, you gotta be really careful with that because as you go faster, you'll jump further and then you miss your turn-in point because you landed further in.
Once Cole and John came down to the pits, we were hoping that everything had gone smoothly because, again, we had zero communication with them.
So sick, man. That road is unreal.
Sorry?
It's scary.
I'm not familiar with it at all. It's like I've never driven up it. It's a lot different than the rental car at 20. So going at it at speed is just like, and how fast this car is just like, You can go from 40 to 60 like that, but you can't see around the next corner. So you're like, I use more throttle inputs and outputs during like the shortest amount of miles. Like the ratio is not good. It's embarrassing because it's just like, oh, I can go quick. You just airborne 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I only went airborne maybe once on the first, well, for sure once on the first run, and then the second run I picked it up a little bit more, and it was like, yeah, okay. But as the aero comes in, like it starts to feel good again, but it's so technical. Oh my gosh.
Instantly, the look on Cole's face was reassurance to us that he was in a good mood, which is always like a big deal, and also that I mean the car was working.
Only got 2 runs in. That's what everybody got. You know, there's over 70 competitors on the mountain, all trying to make their runs. We made 2. It was a good day, and called it. And we knew the weather was rolling in for day 2.
If you haven't eaten on your aero, do you even race? No, we're gonna do one.
Rain, nothing but rain. The forecast showed rain. The locals told us it was gonna rain, and that's what it did. It rained and rained and rained.
We were kind of playing it by ear when Cole was going to go to make his practice run.
As much as I hate to miss any practice time at all, it's like it's not good practice time.
So yeah, slow eyes aren't as good as
Well, and
dry,
just like,
fast eyes.
yeah, it won't be a comfortable situation. Yesterday I felt comfortable. So, good with car, the road. The dirt was a little uncomfortable because there was more marbles on it than I had seen the previous 2 days. But
I didn't even bother trying to make a first run just because it's a scary course, and I didn't expect to learn much driving a rain-covered course when I saw the weather for race day.
The road is slick right now, so just
yeah,
I'm hanging out.
yeah,
My man.
it's good.
John, he decided to run the first session. We put his reins on. He ran it with no issues or anything. Actually loved the reins more than he did his slicks. He's not pushing to break any records or anything, just stay on the road and have a good time. And I think he did that for sure.
Up the top where the spectators are, I hung it out on the right-hander.
Yeah.
Oh, don't film that.
Don't film that.
We were kind of waiting for a gap in the weather to send Cole, and luckily we timed it so that Cole's practice run was going to be at the end of our run group. He was going to be like the last car up, and the roads were going to be as dry as possible, and we sent him up.
So at this point, it's the end of day 2, last practice. I've only had 3 looks at the mountain. We're talking 10 minutes of practice time at real speed. That's not a lot of time.
was telling us that the bottom section is so much crazier than the top, which is, I think, kind of opposite of what we were anticipating.
It was rad.
Was it? Hell yeah.
It was rad.
Oh,
like,
awesome.
I scared myself a few times.
Oh.
Because cold slicks on wet road.
Yeah.
And John was right. You can't, on the new part, you can't tell what's wet and what's dry. A couple moments, I had some moments.
Oh, jeez.
But, yeah,
Well, we're good.
Back up a little bit. Any issues?
Yeah.
yeah, the road was still wet.
Day 2, that's the official qualifying time. Couldn't believe where I ended up.
I'm sitting there and I look up live time or the timing thing. The guy's like, "Oh, go to this website and pull it up." And I see my time. I'm like, "Cool, I'm fastest in my class." And I couldn't find the overall results, and I went to the overall page.
Yeah.
I kept scrolling up and down to like find if somebody like was missed class. I'm like, "Holy shit, behind the man." I don't care how big the gap is.
Yeah.
Just to be there. Unbelievable.
With just the one run, I ended up second behind Pastrana. Huge gap to him, but it didn't matter. He's in a superhuman category. I'm just a regular human category, so I was winning at that point.
The driver that Travis Pastrana is and the Subaru that Team Subaru and Vermont Sports Car had made, like, we literally could not have asked for a better result after the first run of the mountain.
Knew there was plenty of time to improve, plenty of spots to improve, but it gave me a lot of confidence, and I felt like I already won at that point. You know, being second to a guy like that, felt really good about seeing my name under his on qualifying day. So that really gave me the spark and energy and desire to finish behind him on race day.
Race day is upon us.
The fans were pouring in first thing in the morning. The pressure was on.
Cole's had 2 practice days to learn the mountain as best as he can, but he's never completed a run at speed. He practiced the top section, he practiced the bottom section. Now he's got to put it all together and not die.
Cole, yes, he's my boss, but at the end of the day, he's actually a really, really good friend of mine that freaks me out to watch him do what he does.
I wasn't going to get rained out. There was no excuses. It was time to put in a result.
Cole was going to start second to last in the first run group, and again on race day, we get 2 chances to the top of the mountain. And so right before Cole goes out, I just reassure him like, hey, we've got 2 chances. This isn't like Pikes Peak where you only get 1 chance. We get 2 chances up this mountain. Just make it to the top. Let's make it a second run at this mountain. If he wants to go fast a second time, let's do it. But first, let's get a time on the board. We have tire warmers on the car. We knew that some sticky tires were going to give Cole just that extra little confidence that he needed. We push the cars up to the line and we send them. Is so crazy by itself that there's time that the belly of the car are literally dragging on the ground. It's like a 7-mile run, but so many of the corners look exactly the same.
I was just committed to myself to only drive what I could see, not get too excited, and stay comfortable.
Cole could not go any faster on these dirt roads in this car. Like, he's absolutely pushing it to the limits.
You drive into one of the gnarliest sections of the race course with dirty tires that have lost temp. And it's scary because you don't know when they're going to come in.
To see how fast Cole was going up this mountain is completely mind-blowing, because again, this is his first time there, this is his first time competing, first time driving this car at speed on this road, and again, the Alpha is just an insane monster of a car.
It was spooky. You get to the top, talking with Travis and Chris, and we were jokingly, semi-serious, saying, I don't think we need to make a second run. You know, we all pushed hard. It's a scary place.
I just want to get, do I have to go up again?
Yeah,
I got like lightheaded when I got out of the car.
Man, what a challenging place. It was unlike any other section of road I've ever been allowed to race on. I've driven similar sections on different windy roads and mountain roads and stuff, but never been able to race, never been able to go flat out, never had, you know, the mountain to myself. So, you know, Pikes Peak is its own set of challenges, very, very dangerous, very daunting, but not quite as mental as Mount Washington is.
Yeah, you got time to...
Dude, what? This road is so. You're gonna have to edit that out. I think we're second. Yeah, we reset the two-wheel drive record. Yeah, man. So mission accomplished as far as what the main goal was to do that. But there's still another run. People go quicker. I don't know how much quicker I can go. Like, I made tons of mistakes. Like, the car can go quicker. I'm just like processing it as quick as I can. It's just too much to bring in. Like, the whole run is a blur.
Cole had already broken the open wheel track record. He had already secured in second place. He didn't need to prove anything else. It was so crazy because I remember thinking like, well, Travis Pastrana had already broken his record, Cole had already broken the record and was already in second place. Do we need to make a second run? Because again, like, it's like a cat with 9 lives. How many chances do you get up this mountain where you're pushing as hard as you can before something bad happens?
Thank you. Thanks, man. We'll celebrate here in a little bit.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
His only objective for the second half of the day, the second run, was just push at the same speed, but smoother. Knowing Cole, that just means that he's going to end up going faster anyway.
So get up to the summit on the second run, and it's a sense of relief, honestly. I didn't want to drive the road anymore. Like, I'd put down all the effort, all the mental capacity, the best drive I could do. I was wiped, there was no more. And somebody says, hey man, you look really happy.
Yeah, I didn't die. Shit, man, this road's fucking insane.
Everyone wants to go to Pikes Peak and then you come here.
No. Pikes Peak's like cruising to church.
I didn't even know my time. I didn't care. I'd finished. I was done. I didn't have to drive that stupid mountain again that day.
It turns out that he was quick enough that, again, he had sealed in second place behind Travis Pastrana.
It wasn't until after the event that I'd realized that second to Pastrana, we had the fastest time that had ever been recorded there. And it was like mind-blowing. I'm still getting over it at this point.
We seriously could not have asked for a better weekend as a team. It was literally the most excited I've been in a long time about anything.
John, as he always does, real sensible approach, takes his time learning the mountain, gets as much practice time as he can, and ended up, I think, 17th overall and 3rd in the open light class.
The best thing was our goals for the weekend was to get on the podium with Travis, and we did that.
In 3 years here at the Mount Washington Auto Road for the next climb to the clouds.
And then the fact that our two-wheel drive, turbo, shot-built Sierra Alpha was going this fast, this reliably, this was, again, for me, like the greatest weekend that we've had in competition with the Sierra Alpha.
I couldn't be more happy with the result, and standing up there with two of the most respected drivers that I've ever had the pleasure of sharing seat time with. And it's something I'll always cherish and remember for the rest of my life.